The gospel story this Sunday opens the door for a mother-in-law joke. There are those who say that Peter denied Jesus 3 times to get even with Jesus for healing Peter's mother-in-law. But the scene described in the gospel was no joke. Peter's mother-in-law was sick with fever. If this were today, we'd probably take her to get a nose swab test to see if she had COVID. And we all know that COVID is not a joke or a conspiracy to increase government control and deny us religious freedom. Sheesh. But it's a very contagious and life-threatening virus. Who hasn't been touched by the coronavirus? Some of us, we fear for our lives or our livelihood. We may have lost a job or a pay raise or normal business traffic. We've felt separated from others, or isolated ourselves, or been told to quarantine. Almost everything real has become virtual, and human touch has been reduced to an elbow bump. It's said that young people are resilient, but they suffer from the lack of interaction. Others suffer from the virus itself, or from the death of loved ones, or from the inability to grieve as we need to, as we normally would. We feel Job's pain. I have been assigned months of misery, he said. Well, it's been 11 months for us. My days come to an end without hope. I shall not see happiness again, Job says. But if you read to the end of Job's story, and I recommend it, the book of Job is a beautiful story, you learn that he does see happiness again. And the gospel tells us that Jesus healed Peter's mother-in-law, and that Jesus healed many, many people who came to his door seeking healing. So there's a lesson for us that any and every suffering is not the end of the story. Jesus is victorious, and so will we, his followers, be. And that's why we only wear Nike tennis shoes. Google it and find out why. All this that's happening now could be a lesson to teach us the patience of Job, or the perseverance of those people outside of Jesus' door, waiting for an inoculation from him. Don't give up. Don't give in. This is not for always. Or perhaps it's all a lesson in charity, which is the real reason why we wear masks or get ourselves vaccinated. The reason more than anything Dr. Fauci might propose. For those things, wearing a mask, getting inoculated, put into practice the command of Jesus to love your neighbor as yourself. And then there's the lesson of God's love. We may not always understand how what God permits is loving. Just like my mother might say, it's for love that she serves us liver and onions. But if only love can explain Jesus' cross, what else could possibly be behind what God is allowing to happen in our lives right now? Nothing. Only love.